So, is having an ego bad? You trying to look like a rock star? I'm not really trying to do that right now, by the way. It's just kind of sunny out here. Um, when I talk about ego, I'm not talking about somebody that's got arrogance or somebody that's a narcissist. I'm talking about ego as an identity. And people will wrap themselves in this identity, whatever that might be, right? And maybe it's something great, maybe it's something bad, but they put themselves in this identity, in this role, and that's what I call the ego. And when you do that, you're creating separateness. The ego always wants to be separate because the ego wants to be unique. It wants to be special. We all want to be special. We all want that. We all want some attention. And so the ego is always striving for separateness. Okay, so you could think of examples, right? So what if it's a holy man, somebody that prays all the time and preaches all the time, and that's their whole life and their whole identity is wrapped in that, right? But now, because of that separateness, they think that's exactly who they are, and they may start to think thoughts of like being better than other people, right? I'm not saying they are, I'm just saying that as an example. Or a businessman that's a CEO of a major corporation. He has that separateness and he starts to think of himself as better, right? Like in a more elite status. Well, what happens when you knock all that away, right? And that's why we talk about killing the ego, burning the ego, killing it off. Because if you strip away that identity, you get back to the source, okay? You get back to unity and oneness, not separateness, okay? And that's important because we are all one. We are all connected. We have all come from one source, one divine spirit, okay? We've all come from there, and it flows through everything you can see, hear, and touch, everything in the physical universe, right? And so when you develop an ego, an identity that's so strong that you feel separateness creates anxiety, resentment, bitter, anger, like all of these things, stress, okay? Because you're not truly living as your true nature, as the oneness with the source, the oneness with all things, right? So always remind yourself of that. And how can you strip down that ego and strip down that identity to feel more connected with everyone and with everything? And that's something to work on and practice on every day and think about every day. That's your soul snack, guys. Something to think about and contemplate on. Know you're loved and blessed. Have a great one.